All right, take two. uh, the other phone died, and there was no sound, so we'll see if this one actually has sound. Um, my name is Sasha. I am a mother of two, a wife of many years, and I am an artist. I am a scrapbooker, a jewelry maker. I dabble just recently into art journaling, which I really enjoy. Multimedia really seems to suit me, actually. I craft and create for many different reasons. I suffer from depression, so one of the things that I like to do is create through that depression so that I can express how I feel in a very different way. So it's a good positive thing for me. My husband recently has redone my studio. I haven't been in the studio for many years, unfortunately. I was in the workforce for quite some time. And over the last couple of years, my husband has been redoing my studio for me. And I give him specifications on how I wanted things, and then he put it all together for me, and I decorated it. And when I went to go and use all the things in my studio, I found out my paints were dry, my inks were dry, my paintbrushes are actually in good shape because I had treated them with a brush conditioner before I put them away. So that's a good thing. That's a little tip for you, actually. If you use dried up, if you pour dishwashing soap into a container and let it dry, so most of the water has evaporated from it, it becomes like almost like a paste, and you can put that on your paintbrushes, and it keeps them really, really well. They won't be stiff or anything. You just rinse them out when you're ready to use them, and they're good to go. So that's a good one, actually. Um, Learned that from a friend of mine, actually, not Pinterest, which I really, really do enjoy. As you can see, this is my studio. I will do a studio tour, hopefully soon. I just wanted to introduce myself first. So, I have been scrapbooking for, oh, my oldest is 21 now, so quite some time, since my girls were born, actually. So, I have a 21-year-old and a 17-year-old. I had to think about that for a second. Mom brain, you know. Um, So scrapbooking for me in the beginning was just about, like every mom, you want to capture those little moments. Back then, we didn't have Instagram, iPhones, smartphones, any of those things. So the camera came out, and you got the doubles and you did all those things that everybody else does, and we enjoyed it. We enjoyed scrapbooking, and that is something I enjoyed too. My scrapbooking days in the beginning are a little bit cringeworthy, but you know what? It's okay. I've come a long way since then, and it's one of those things I do enjoy. Um, I'm not striving for perfection, just improvement. It's like a little bit, as a new technique comes out, I will try something new and I will do something different, and I'm more than willing to try different things, which is, part of creating. So, um, now that they've come out with more things, like Copic markers, Spectrum Noirs, all the different brands that they've got out there nowadays. There's a lot more out there than there ever used to be. Between spray inks and markers and chipboard. Chipboard. I mean, I didn't have that back in the day. So now I see all these different artists, and I follow quite a few of them on YouTube, and I enjoy it. I really, the thing is, I can't afford half the stuff. As full as my room looks of stuff, that's been collected over 20 years. So that is stuff that has been around for quite some time. And they're tried and true, and they've been tested, and they're the very basics. But, when you see other artists playing with all these new kits, you would like to do the same. However, I've been put on a spending diet recently. Not unfortunately, but it's one of those things you just, yeah, because I've been back in the studio, I've been a little crazy with the spending. So I want to stamp perfect. I had to buy a new embossing tool. Actually, look at this thing. Look, 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 look. Isn't it pretty? I've never seen one like this. My other one was just like a plain burgundy color, and this one is like, oh, so pretty. Anyway, I digress. Um, I had to buy a new tool because it was old. practically on its last legs. I got to use it twice, and that was it. There was no more. Um, so now I've been perfecting a few things in here and obviously trying to do this actually. I don't know if YouTube is going to be a regular thing for me. I wanted to put it out there and see um, what other moms are doing out there. Even if you're a stay-at-home dad, doesn't matter. Even if you're a crafter that works full-time as a lawyer and you dabble, it doesn't matter to me. Creation comes from within, and we create because we feel the need to. I do anyway. Some people, it's just, they can pick it up and leave it and go and do whatever. For me, I have to do this on a regular basis, especially now that I have recently quit my job. That doesn't mean I'm doing YouTube full time, trust me, but I do plan to be in the studio full time. So I'm hoping to be able to share some of that with you. Between jobs might be a better thing. I tease my husband that I'm on early retirement, which he's not too keen about. But anyway, it's one of those things you just sort of, we'll see what happens. Let's put it that way. I am not in any hurry to find another job. I'm enjoying my time off. I don't have children to raise. I don't have a puppy to worry about. My dog is now 8, almost 9. No, almost 8. Sorry, I almost get that wrong. He's almost 8 years old. He's a grumpy, he's a mini golden labradoodle, and he's grumpy. He doesn't like to be around other dogs. So if we do go for walks and, when it's nice out, we will do so. But otherwise, I'm in the studio. This is what I do. And I drink my coffee. Sorry, I have to. It's one of those things I just cannot live without. Okay. I actually put cinnamon in mine this morning. It's pretty tasty. So, yes. Embellishments for me are the key thing at the moment. It's one of those things that make a scrapbook page more enjoyable. It's that flourish, the icing on the cake, the sprinkles on the cupcake, whatever, however you want to view it. It's one of those things that I enjoy. However, having gone through my stash recently and looking through things, I find I don't have a whole lot of it. And so now I am on a spending diet. Not by choice, obviously, but it can get a little ridiculous. It can get a little out of hand. So what I've done is I've created spaces for embellishments, but now I have to make some. So what I'm hoping to do over the next few videos is to do a series of different colors of embellishment. Let's say, you enjoy only neutrals, so I can do a neutral set and see how that works out. I have no idea how to do this. I'll probably have to do some research on Pinterest, and which, by the way, is an excellent way to get a lot of creative ideas. And there's some amazing artists out there that I really enjoy listening to on YouTube when I'm crafting and, when I'm creating. But it's one of those things, embellishments, we want so many different collections. I can't buy collections here in Canada. It's not one of those things that Michaels really carries. And what they do carry is very expensive, and I cannot justify the amount of money that they ask for just a few little trinkets that you're just going to sprinkle on a page. So what I want to do is create a few different embellishments that can be enhanced with other things, whether it be buttons or paper or my own creations for whatever reasons there are. I do believe in buying the paper packs that you get at Michael's, the hot buy ones. They're really, really good, actually. Actually, I have one. Let's see. I have a rolly chair, which is so, so nice. I probably should have been better prepared with this, but see? The room is not very big, so I can roll around. So one of the ones is the Santa Fe Garden. It's a gorgeous paper pad. My oldest loves cacti, so it's one of those, yeah. Anyway, I cut all the little cut aparts already out. So these are all the strips from the cut apart papers. And then you have a few other embellishments. You know, it's like, it reads almost as a summer holiday kind of thing. But I could also put it as green or pink. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be one restriction. It doesn't have to be just for someone who lives in Arizona, for instance. I live in Canada. It gets cold here. We get a lot of snow. Not at the moment, but it will eventually. And eventually I will get tired of that snow. And what I'll want to do is scrap up pages or embellishments, or cards for that matter, that have a much sunnier vibe to them. So that is the goal. I will be doing a room tour. I will be doing very in-depth, because I've done quite a few different things in the room for embellishments that I have bought at the dollar store, Dollar Tree, Dollarama, whichever one has whatever I needed. And there's, as we all know, you go to one dollar store for one thing and you go to a different dollar store for another thing, because that's what they're known for. So if you're looking for anything in particular, there's always something to be found. So yeah, that is the hope. That is the plan. Let's put it that way. So anyway, my hope is to, in the next little while, to get all that done for you, and that we can craft and create together. It's one of those things that when you're in the mood to create, you get into a creative frenzy, and it's one of those things you just want to do something with your hands. And listening to YouTube or music or a movie that you've watched 10,000 times and still enjoy watching, but you can listen to it instead, which I do quite often actually. So it's like being with friends at the same time. Why not? So that is the hope. And I hope you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye guys.